The third quarter meeting at Three Kings Roofing, we definitely break chains and transcend lives. We love to highlight people. We love to get together as a company once a quarter and really put a hype and a shine on what people are doing. I mean, this business, this industry is definitely made for winners and people that are high achievers, and we just love to highlight that, and that's what we were doing at our third quarter meeting. All of our meetings, we try to mix it up. We try to do things that are a little different just to keep guys on their toes. We invite all of our markets to come in. We try to get our guys and girls to come in and just definitely have something that they might not know what's going on, whether it's an award that we give away or a bonus that we give away or a promotion. It's always something that's kind of a little bit different, and so we try to make it fun and energetic and make people really want to plug in and kind of get the camaraderie that we're doing at the family and what we do as an organization. So it's a good unity event. Thank everybody for coming, everybody that's traveled. This is definitely the third quarter meeting that we're going to have. We did this before. It's been pretty cool. We kind of get everybody together, have some camaraderie. I'm sorry that they forgot the alcohol this time, but they said y'all didn't drink it, so I was kind of confused by that. In general, I thought we did better than that around here. And so we definitely, in the third quarter, it was very core value driven. One thing that we had to do midway through the second quarter going into the third is we really dialed in core values of what is it that we're looking for, what is our company, what do we represent, how are we pushing the envelope, and how do we teach that. We're kind of going through core values, and I write them down, and I realize that they're a little bit out of order, but we've had this whole mantra of like the Spartans, the shoulder to shoulder, the no surrender, no retreat, we eat what we kill. You've seen the video. Looked at the values that I wrote down and realized that when I put them in order, it spelled sword. And so I was like, well, that's just a godsend of types. I'm like, how does that make so much sense to what we've been putting out there and what we're teaching? And so the S is servant leadership. W is warrior mentality, and that's where I say you don't fucking lose. It's always my mantra to my guys, and what I tell people is like there's nobody that's gonna beat us at anything. O is ownership. The R is respect, and that comes down to we don't lie, cheat, or steal from each other or our clients, and so it's a huge core value. And then D stands for discipline or duty. And what that comes down to is meaning like if we're coaching you, teaching you, training you, putting in all this effort, you're gonna have the discipline and duty to go through with what we're teaching. And so crucial to our core values, and you can have all the knowledge in the world, but if you don't go out there and apply it, then you're not gonna get anywhere. And so we say, you live by the sword, you die by the sword. And I smile and I laugh and I say, okay, well, I'm going to show you what I'm capable of doing, and I want that for everybody in here, but that's where the core values matter, and you've got to be with me on that. If you're not with me on that, then you're against me, right? And that's okay. I've got brothers that were competitors, I got family members that decided to be competitors and all that stuff, and it hasn't stopped anything yet. Like I said, we're already past last year's numbers by a lot. Not by a little bit, by a lot. And so I don't like saying that because I feel like I'm too small of a company and where we're at right now. I'm embarrassed by that, honestly, but y'all done an amazing job, and that's a great testament to everybody here, so thank you for that. At my company, Three Kings, is definitely important. We do roofing, PDR, solar, but it's very crucial that leaders have a voice, and that I'm not the only one like barking down orders from the top. It's if you have structure in place and you've got positive leaders, you can move mountains and you can move a lot faster. And so it's very important that you grow fast, but you have to have leadership so it doesn't crumble from within. But it's big. Like voices mean, hey, that this guy's got my back, that you can take new people and they're going to be successful as well. And so it's a duplication model of what I've done for over a decade and poured into people, and then letting them take the reins and grow it and help and do the things, with their skills, because that's what I want, is different skill sets, different than mine.
And number one, with no further ado, my main man, Mr. Chase Miller.
Yeah, Viking 26 is one of the guys that got a recent promotion to COO. He came on and he was in one of our group interview sessions, and I saw him, and I looked a little bit at his background, just saw it was military. That's all I kind of knew. I personally took him out and interviewed him, and from the moment that I met him, I could tell, like, okay, he's a high motor guy, an achiever, and a prideful guy that he's gonna make it happen. We want people like that here. when he came here, he came on at this time where it's a little bit chaotic, you know what I mean? And he's really used to military structure. And so he was kind of like immediately in people's face, I would say, you know, as far as like pushing the envelope. He's not even a salesperson, but he's still number 3 in the company in sales for about a 3.5 month period that he actually really pushed sales hard. And so I immediately recognized, okay, like leaders, and when I need them most, right, I've got to put people in place to make things happen. And he was in people's face and had at least my back. And that's where I'm saying in the third quarter, I've prove it, is what I told him. Hey, prove it, be loud about it, so that people start to understand that this is what's possible, this is how we're going to treat things. And then I've advanced him as fast as I possibly could to as high a level as I possibly could, because I'm aware of what effect it's having on people, on the company, on what we're doing, on future, where we're going, on recruits that we're able to pull into the company at this point, you know, because there's a lot of successful people that want structure, right? They don't want to come into a shit show, so to speak. And so that's what he's helping me organize, and that's why we're attracting, you know, better and better talent. That's why we're getting our guys more in believing in what we're doing, and we're able to help them. And so that's where the third quarter, he ended up being the top earning person in the quarter. And that had to do with how we build teams. And so our team structure, he had a team that he was getting paid on, his personal stuff he was getting paid on. And that's where we're getting the belief in, hey, if you want to get to where you're heavy 6 figures or chasing down $1 million earnings a year, this is how it's done. And so he made it a point, you know, to try to get to that. And congratulations, you know, to him. It's a substantial amount of money, and there's still a waterfall effect of stuff that's still coming his way. So he'll make a lot more than what was even on that quarter, but definitely, you know, a testament to him and who he is and what he's doing. And, you know, we're happy to have him here.
So I want to thank Dustin for that opportunity for all of us, because he doesn't have to give it to us. He did it because he wants to see more than just himself succeed.
Yeah, and so, you know, we had like I said, a recent promotion. COO for Viking 26 was Chase Miller, and his sergeant in the military was actually Anthony Lawler. And so he personally recruited Anthony Lawler, and the guy uprooted his life from Tampa to come out here and help our company. And so that's taking nothing more than really a word. I mean, our company's been around for a while, and we've got a reputation, and we've done business. And so he personally recruits the guy, and him being able to plug in with Chase quickly and really put a dynamic of caring about others. It really comes down to how much do you care about others, and how much are you going to help others to get something from me, right? That's what I do. Is and our core value spells sword, but S is servant leadership, and that basically means you help bring other people up. You are somebody in your community that's positive. You know, we donate a lot of money, and so the people that I put in positions have to represent that in the company's face to do that. And he's done a really good job with that since he was here. And so I wanted to get him into a position of that as well, and do the VP of sales for our Dallas-Fort Worth market, which is our biggest market. It's the most competitive market pretty much in the industry, in Texas especially. No, country. DFW is the king and capital of roofing, and so I've got to set the dynamic there. And so it was important that I put solid, strong leadership pieces in place here to compete and then grow our other stuff off of it. And so he's done a really good job, and I'm proud of him, and happy as hell to have him too. So, you know, shout out to Lawler. We had several new people that have been here less than a year that are in the top 10. We've had a guy that's been here that's a $1 million plus producer in his first 12 months. When we talk about what that means to the individual, they're gonna make between $150,000 and probably $250,000 from that. That's huge, and it's not because the old guys have done nothing, you know what I mean? So it's like they're getting pushed a little bit too. Our guy that's been the top sales guy is an older gentleman that he didn't think what he's done this year was possible, because now he's getting pushed a little bit, you know? It's taken effect, and that's why I like the new blood and the energy and the stories and the people and the way that we have our structure set up for team leads and things of that nature. It's shoulder to shoulder mentality, and we really believe in that, and that's what you're seeing. And so as these guys advance, other people advance, and it keeps moving the needle positively.
Everybody in this room thought they were going to be great, right? Some of you are, and some of you can get there, but everybody thought it was going to be easy. You got to have the warrior mentality or you'll never get to where you're trying to get to.
New people, new blood into any company, they bring energy, they bring skill sets, they bring a whole nother story into what we're doing. And so it's a whole nother person that you're trying to bring up the chain and then try to get their life transcended. And so when we have fast success, or we have guys that are new that have a whole lot of success, that makes me feel like we're on the right path, that it's a systematic approach of what we do as a company, and that's why we can stand out in the industry so well. And anybody that comes to work here that plugs in, is coachable and competitive, they always win here. And so it's just kind of making them get that faith, that belief in what we're doing, and then it takes off like wildfire, and it creates a momentum that your company becomes unstoppable.
There's a few people that know kind of where I was when I started here. I came down here with less money than I was planning on coming down here. I moved down here to be closer to my son, and the job that I was supposed to have when I came down here, they still have yet to call me.
The number 2 earner, I think, this past quarter was Nathan, who came from Oregon, was lied to by another roofing company, told him he had a job. He moves all the way to Texas with basically nowhere to live. When he interviewed with us, he was in a world of hurt because he didn't have a job to get a house, and so he couldn't have income to get a house. And so things we did to help him, and I've put him in spot. Now he's buying himself a house and things of that nature. That's what I love. That's why I do this. At the end of the day, it's having those stories evolve in our company that, that's what we do it for. And so that's all I can say. And so celebrating the third quarter, recognizing people, these are all celebrations and stories and why we do what we do.